Let's turn our attention to what happened in Italy today. Goodness me, Inter hitting 6 past bottom of the table Brescia. Meanwhile, Milan just about scraping a 2-2 draw against SPAL, leaving them in 7th, 2 points adrift of Napoli in 6th. Oi, Gab, they don't run the score up in Italy. What happened?
Oh, I think Inter had a lot of frustration and a lot of anger pent up inside them after the Parma performance, and they unloaded all of it in this game. I mean, look, Brescia know that they're down, and it might just be coincidence, but 6 different Inter players scored those 6 goals. I think Conte was just so furious after the Parma game, which they won, by the way.
Yeah.
Of course. That he just said, "Show me something."
Well, you should have said that earlier in the season, Ali. It worked brilliantly.
Yeah, and you look at this performance and this game and the intensity with which Antonio Conte was coaching out in the silence, you would have thought they were playing against Juventus. He was screaming, he was yelling, he was active and maintaining a level of, I would say, demand from his players. And look, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We have to play at a certain level ourselves, and we're going to keep going forward. And that's what they did. They kept scoring goals. If I were to highlight a player out of this match, I would say Alexis Sanchez, who for the first time in a very long time, and I mean a very long time, he looked alive. He looked like his legs were there. He looked quick and speedy over distance and in short space, and scored a goal and a nice assist in the first goal. Nice finish by Ashley Young. And you're thinking, man, where has this been? Because we know that for the last couple of years, he's looked half dead. But today, he looked like he had gone back a couple of years. And now all of a sudden you're thinking, maybe there's still something left for Alexis Sanchez. However, the bar cannot be Brescia, and the game that you're going to use to evaluate Alexis Sanchez and his performance with Inter should not be Brescia. On the whole, just a very, very dominant performance for Inter, and one that you would have hoped you would have seen from them more consistently when they were actually in the race to win this whole thing.
Alexis Sanchez, he's not going to stay there, is he?
Well, the funny thing about Alexis Sanchez, just and I appreciate it. This is so Inter, he's getting good and he's contributing, just as they're going to have to send him back to Manchester United. Inter confirming that they've been able to extend his loan until the end of the season in Serie A, which is going to be August 2nd or 3rd that weekend. But no more than that, which means that he won't be able to play for them in the Europa League. Part of the reason there probably also because, of course, United also in the Europa League, and they probably don't want to face him as an opponent. So, it's Sod's Law with Inter there. Just as they finally unlock what Alexis can do, he's getting ready to pack his bag.
Meanwhile, the other side of the city, as always, Ali, we start to get excited about Milan. Think, they've been looking good of late. Maybe could even make a push for Europe, and then all of a sudden they put in a performance like today and it needed that crazy late goal to see the equaliser. What was wrong with them today?
The final third for Milan was just awful. The final pass, the final delivery, the finish, they may have had 30, 35 attempts on goal. It felt like it was 100 attempts on goal, but it didn't feel like most of those attempts were actually on target. And you think of the possession that they had, and after SPAL get a man thrown out, the Alessandro late in the first half, it was all full domination by Milan. But that final third and the execution of that final pass and that final touch was not there. But I tell you, where there was a great execution was in the second goal by SPAL, Flocati, who on the baby bounce, this ball is just sitting beautifully for him, and he hits it, loops it over Donnarumma, and what a goal it was. You may not have thought that SPAL should be in the standings where they are, the way they were playing in the first half, and then the second half came, and essentially you saw a team that just ran out of legs, could not defend anymore, and Milan eventually, not because they were good, but because they just kept pushing numbers forward. Eventually they pushed a couple of goals in, one with the help from SPAL, 2-2. Exciting game, but not a particularly well-played game.
Gab?
So just to add to what Ali said, look, SPAL obviously fighting to avoid relegation. They actually rested, 4 or 5 starters for this game. So it was actually partly the SPAL B team that went out there and took a 2-0 lead over Milan. I want to give Milan just a little bit of defensive. I'm going to sort of give them a half pass defensively because, of course, that first goal was a bit of a car crash where they couldn't clear the ball and Gabbia and whatnot. But the second goal, by the way, Sergio Floccari, that man, it's his first goal of the season, and I believe he's older than Ali. I think he's 38 years old, Sergio Floccari. Certainly metabolically
no, he's
older.
not older than me. No, Gaff.
But close enough. But anyway, so, this is Twilight Zone stuff already. And then Milan tried to get back into it. I thought they created enough chances to win objectively. But you know what? Creating the chances is most of the battle, but it's not the whole battle. You have to finish them. And now the big question is, when they've got this big game against Lazio coming up, to what degree does this actually derail them? Because they would have pulled level with Napoli, at least momentarily, had they taken all 3 points.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.